sometimes randomly a filter will pop up. It's freezing in our house because our furnace stopped working last night actually. So huge shout out to Wise Heating and Cooling in Paris, Ontario for literally coming out 10 minutes after we called them. They installed our furnace and they're fantastic. So just thought we'd give them a little shout out. I don't know what's happening here. Here we go. Okay, so we thought we would pop on. We were having this discussion about what have we learned? And I'm sure there's more things than what we're going to talk about, but these were kind of like the top, I'm freezing. These are like the top things that we were kind of coming up with. And we thought we'd share with you because this is the kind of time of year where we reflect on the past year and how great it was, or maybe not so great, how we can get better, what we loved.
I love this time between Christmas and New Year's because there's a little bit of work to do, but you can also it's time to relax because we don't need to push yet. We need to take some time.
Recharge those batteries.
Yeah, sitting on a couch or whatever you do that recharges your batteries, read a book, whatever. We need to do it. As a society, it's important.
Yeah. So we're just going to go through some of our top ones, and feel free to share your reflection below, what you learned in 2018, if we're sparking ideas, or you want to kind of put it out there to the universe of what you're doing or reflecting on. That's awesome. And I love to hear what other people's thoughts are too about this kind of stuff. So the number one thing for us was gratitude. So gratitude, even in the moments where it's really hard to find gratitude. So when things are thrown at you, we have curveballs, monthly, yearly, that are thrown at us. Some years are better than others. This year was quite a doozy for our family with stuff, just with our health and things like that. So this is really hard to do. Like, we're making it sound pretty easy, but it is really a challenge when someone's diagnosed with something, or someone's lost their job, or, like something life-changing, you lose your house or whatever. You are thrown these curveballs, and we always have control over how we react to everything. So in the moments where, you have that, maybe if it's something negative, you have this initial reaction of like, why is this happening to me? I hate this. I hate this person. I hate whatever it is, right? You start spewing out all this negativity. Get that out of your system. Take the 5 minutes and just like get it out. That's human nature. But then start to reflect on, why is this happening? Maybe you don't know. What can I take from this and learn from it? And what am I grateful for? So, it's like with us, I think with my dad getting sick, it was really, I'm grateful that I get to see him every day if I really want to. He's like 5 minutes away. I'm grateful that we have opportunities to help with his health and get him better in a natural capacity without having to use a lot of medications and things. I'm just grateful for like all the support. I'm grateful for all the prayers. So there's always some, when you're throwing a curveball, there's always something. Were you going to say something?
Sometimes you have to dig deep to find it.
It's hard, you guys.
And it's easy to be grateful when everything is going good.
Yeah, you're like grateful for everything when everything's so good.
Easy.
You get a promotion, you get a raise, you win something, you're going on a trip.
You get along with your spouse.
You're getting married, you found out you're pregnant, like all these things.
That's easy
easy
to be grateful. Be grateful when stuff's going bad.
It's hard. It is really hard. But I promise you, this is what I've learned. If you practice gratitude in everything you do, in every capacity of how you practice your everyday life will be good. It will get you through. It will be that light at the end of the tunnel, and it is so important. So that's number one, is gratitude.
I started out with writing a small list every day, 5 little things before I went to bed.
5 things you're grateful for, and 2 reasons why you're grateful for each. Not just the what, but really digging and why are you grateful. Take it to another level.
It took a little bit of practice to do that at the beginning for me, but once you do it, then I didn't need to write it down anymore.
Yeah.
Because I found out I was always grateful for pretty much the same stuff after a while, because that's what was truly important to me.
So you can take a moment right now and write down 5 things that you're grateful for. And it's easy. Like, it's easy to go, I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for the food on my plate. That we know that, right? That's every day. Really dig deep down and think about not the everyday things, you know? Like, you know, and it's like little things. Like sometimes I'll go and to say something and I bite my tongue and I hold back. And within that, during a conversation with somebody, I learn more about them because I have learned to put the duct tape on. That I'm grateful for. That was a skill that took me a really, really long time to learn. So it's like little things like that are super important. But this is a really good exercise. If you write out a list, so set a timer for 10 minutes and or take it as long as you want, but if you kind of are in a time frame, it kind of goes a little bit quicker, and write down 100 things that you're grateful for. It is really hard. You know, the first 20, easy. And then you get into the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. Like sometimes you're struggling. Sometimes it's going to take you a few days to actually think of all the things that you are actually grateful for to get to 100. But the end of your list, those last 10, is really where you're digging deep. Angel, I love you so much. This is my friend Angel from Ecuador. I love him so much. Angel, you need to come to Canada. I miss you like crazy. Thank goodness we have social media to stay connected. I'm grateful for Angel, and I'm grateful for the staff at the what is it called? The Nova Vita Essential Oil and Wellness Spa in Ecuador, and I'm grateful for everybody there, and I miss everybody. So they were a great help to us.
The next thing
Yes.
on our list that we learned in 2018 is compassion and kindness.
Yes, compassion and kindness. And sometimes you think you're doing that all the time, but are you practicing it in every moment and of every day of your life? So, you know,
Does anyone do that?
well, it's
If they do, are they walking this earth?
right, maybe,
I don't think so.
but that is something you can strive towards, right? So
Yeah.
compassion is when someone does not hold compassion, that's really scary. So compassion is, you know, it's like the little things, right? So when you go to a grocery store and the woman that's checking or the man that's checking out your food or whatever you're buying is in a bad mood, we often will be like, wow, like, why are they even in this job, right? You jump to something so negative, like that's the wrong job for them. Why are they even doing this? And then it makes you feel negative. I have changed my way of thinking. So when someone is being mean or maybe not friendly to me, I always kill them with kindness. Like sprinkle that kindness around like confetti, because it's amazing what it does. Even just smiling at somebody makes a world of difference to people, and you don't even know how it's impacting them. And also I think maybe that person just lost somebody really close to them. Maybe they just had something traumatic happen in their life that they're dealing with, and you have no idea, and they're having to come to work because they have to put food on the table. You have to have compassion towards people, you know? So it could be something simple like give a compliment. No one is ever offended by a compliment. You know, how many times have you gone into a public washroom and seen somebody cleaning the toilets and just walked right by them like they don't even exist? And that was one thing, like with compassion, that really opened my eyes. I heard this on, I think it was Oprah years ago, and she had a guest, and I don't even remember who it was, but they were talking about how they would go, like they traveled a lot for their job. So they would be in the airport and they would go out of their way to find the people cleaning the washroom. Like if they were in there and they were cleaning, to go up to them and say, I just wanted to tell you that you're doing a really great job. You know, and people were always taken back because that is a position, that's a job. It's a really hard and disgusting job that is really important for our society. They're huge contributors, but they do not get the recognition or acknowledgement from people or gratitude, right?
It's looked on as by society as a negative.
Yeah, and it's not. Those people are people just like us, and everybody's in a different situation, and everybody is doing the best they can with what they've got. So compassion in that sense is really important. And I always find like an icebreaker, like a genuine compliment. If somebody's negative and they're ringing my groceries through, I'll just be like, you know, saying like, how's it going? You know, how is your day? How do you feel today? And just that simple question, or like a simple thank you so much for your help today. I really appreciate it. You did a great job.
When we're operating from true compassion, we are coming from a place of humility, which meaning we are thinking less of ourselves, thinking more about other people. And when we think a little bit more about others, it's easy to have a bit of compassion because you really see what they're going through, right?
Okay, next is consistency is the key to everything. So this would be like my number one in business is consistency. So I'll give you a good example how I'm, like, you guys know we are constantly on social media. I'm constantly posting Insta stories. You know I love to drink Ningxia Red. You know I use my oils every day. You know that my kids are, you know, my life, and I'm putting them on here, and, you know, we're sharing our lifestyle and all that stuff. You know, you can come on and you know what to find when you come to look to see what is Jennifer Lopez Dorsey posting. You know that I love fitness. You know I have 4 kids. You know what my business is all about. So it's the consistency. So last night we went out with a bunch of friends, and it was really great, and they were all commenting about our videos and how much they love them, and because we don't get to see our friends as often as we'd like. And so they were talking about how they love that they get that little glimpse into our life every single day. And like today I did not want to come on, you guys. Like I feel like just tired. I feel crappy. I'm cold, you know, and I'm like, but I feel in my heart that this was something that we needed to share today. And the kids are at my mom and dad's. They're enjoying their time there, and like the house is quiet. Like, let's just do it, whatever. So here we are. So consistency is the key, though, because I'll tell you, my cousin's girlfriend said to me, I love all your videos. Hey, Amanda, I love all your videos. And this one day at work, it was kind of a crappy day. Everybody was in a bad mood, and it was really, really slow. So she goes, I know what'll cheer everybody up. And she pulled up my Insta stories and played it for her and all of her coworkers, and they were all like dying and laughing. It must have been funny that day. I don't know. But she's like, we all loved it, and it got us through the day. And I was like, seriously? She's like, yeah, I love your stories. I watch them every day. I'm like, that's amazing. So that to me right there tells me that's God's way of saying, keep doing what you're doing, because you know, yes, I have a business, and yes, I'm selling products, but I'm also trying to motivate and inspire people to do their best. And there are people on social media that I watch every single day that do that for me. So if I can be that person for you, or one of those people, I just think that's a great gift. Yep. You know, like I am inspiring people every day, or encouraging them to be their best selves just by showing up, regardless of how I feel, you know. And if you're watching this and you're like, I needed to hear that today, then boom, that's why I'm on here. Then I know that is what I am meant to do. I am trying to live my best life, and in turn help everybody do that for themselves. So consistency is the key, because if you're a business owner, like, can you just imagine if you were like, oh, I think I'm gonna open my store doors today? Maybe like you would never have any customers because they won't show up, because they never know when you're open, right? So my store is here. I am my store. If I don't have my doors open all the time, like people will have no idea. Like I wouldn't be successful in my business. Just like for our kids, like you have to consistently show up every single day for your kids, right? So I treat this just like I treat parenting, just like I treat, like I have to show up as a wife every day. I mean, really? But you do it.
When I get up in the morning, I have to, when I come downstairs.
No, when you wake up in the morning, you roll over and you're like, she's all mine. I am one blessed gentleman. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God, for the woman beside me. And then you go downstairs, right?
And then I start my day. But I come downstairs, I go to the bathroom, and then I read my books, my daily recovery books, and then I pray every day.
Every day. Usually by the time I come downstairs, he's on his knees.
And the only reason I do that is because when I didn't do it, my life was not running the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
And every time I do it, I always feel better. right? It doesn't always have to be exactly in the same order all the time, every day, but it is good to be consistent, right?
I mean, one day I even got down and I started praying with him, which was a surprise to him, but I'm like, it felt really good. So, you know, he's starting to inspire me to do stuff like that. So that's pretty awesome. I love that he is just as consistent in what he does as I do, because it really does, you support each other so much. And this is the thing, like, I've always been really consistent with everything I've done in my life. He has not. And I think over the years, that is him watching me do it has inspired him to do it. And so if you're sitting there going like, I wish my spouse or my partner or my kids did that, worry about yourself and getting that, perfect that with yourself, and within that you will inspire them.
That's right.
In one way or another, right? Like, don't expect it overnight or ever. Maybe I had to be okay with, I'm consistent in everything I do, and it's his choice whether he joins me in this journey or not, and he chose to, which was amazing. But guys, it took years. Like, it wasn't overnight. It's like, this has been what, about 10 years almost of us working on this stuff, and you can only get better, right? You never be perfect. You can only just work on getting better and better.
I do the same thing. I'm consistent in some things, and I want her to kind of come into some of the stuff that I'm doing, you know. And I know it's, if I want people to be a certain way around me, then I have to be that way first. And maybe then they'll follow.
Okay, next one is never take anyone or anything for granted. So very, very easily we get stuck in a routine, an everyday routine, where you just are like, come home from work, you're tired, or the weekend rolls around, and you know, kids have got sports and recitals and all the things, and like, you're going, and then you get home and you're so tired that you just sit on the couch and watch TV or whatever. I'm not like, maybe that's not your routine, but that seems to be common, I think, between, you know, when we talk to people, and they get stuck in this routine of just like going through the motions instead of actually being present in everyday life. And so part of that is being present, is not taking anything or anyone for granted, because it's really easy to do. And I think as soon as somebody gets sick or you lose someone, that's where you have regrets about, I didn't spend enough time with them, I didn't tell them how I felt, you know, we didn't communicate enough, we didn't make enough of an effort. So like, we were really big on date night. And even when the kids were little and we couldn't get a babysitter to go out, we still found a way to like have date night at home. You know, whether it was like we put a movie in and we'd snuggle and watch the movie together, or we'd play a game, or we just would like, you know, get out some snacks and sit and talk or whatever. It was just us making intentional time to spend time together. So, and part of that is like, you know, telling people how you feel, even if it gets uncomfortable, right? Because uncomfortable is where you start to grow. That uncomfortable place is where you start to reach goals and you start to grow as a person. And it puts you out of your comfort zone. It's so important to get there. So, you know, I took him for granted for a lot of years because he didn't contribute to our family how I wanted him to contribute. So that's where I started worrying and focusing about myself and taking care of my kids. And through that, he came into the picture, and he is what you see now, right? So, and now, you know, we always have said every day, every time we answer the phone, we always say, I love you, but not just like I love you. Like, it's not just a thing we say. It's an intentional I love you. Every single time I say it to my kids, they say it back. I say it to my parents. I say it to my grandma, my brother, and it's uncomfortable. I'll tell you, like, there's some people you'll say it to and they'll be like, what? Especially if it's the first time you're saying it.
Oh yeah.
You know, like if you don't say it to your dad, like I never used to say I love you to my dad. Well, now I say it all the time.
Me too. I never did to my dad either.
But then, you know, for him, his dad's no longer here. You know, now you're looking back and going, like, I wish I would have started that sooner.
I know, like, we were talking about this before, about her dad being sick and over the Christmas holidays, and it's tough. It's really hard, you know, but at the same time, I kept saying to her, like, I'm so jealous. You get to spend one more Christmas.
Yeah, but also grateful that you have my father as my dad is your dad, right?
That's right. You know, and I got three good months at the end of my dad's life that I got to spend with him. You know, you know, there's always that part of you that's like,
I wish I would have said, or I wish I would have done. So don't wait for those moments. Like, think now about your family and your friends. And like every day I try to think of at least 5 people that just pop into my mind. And I take a moment, like whether I'm, you know, just finished going to the bathroom or I'm sitting on the toilet, whatever. Like everybody's like, I'm so busy. You can find 2 seconds in your day. You know, maybe it's like you pop food in the oven and you're waiting for it to cook or heat up, or, you know, you're waiting in line to do something, whatever. We wait so much in our lives. Like there's some study that shows that we wait more than we actually like sleep in our lifetime or something ridiculous like that. So in those moments where you're waiting for something and someone pops into your head, send them a message and just say, hi, I just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you. Hope you're having a good day. Like it makes such a difference and such an impact in people's lives when you can do that and tell them, like, give somebody a compliment. Give them an honest to goodness compliment, and not just like a, oh, you know, you look really nice today. Like
I would love to get, like, if somebody sent me a message out of the blue I haven't talked to in like a few months or a year or something, said, hey, I was just thinking, oh yeah, like that would be like, that would make my day.
Yeah, it feels so good because you genuinely are thinking about them. And then those moments where I don't send a message because I'm like, whatever, and you just kind of like make an excuse as to why you don't, that person always presents themselves to me like a week later, and then I go, I was just thinking about you, like I should have sent that message. So every time I don't is when that happens, and that's God's way of saying, do it, girl. Get on it. Get on it. So, I guess within that is like, you know, never taking anyone or anything for granted, but always telling everybody in your life that's important to you that you care about them, that you love them. Say, I love you. And it's uncomfortable. And that's the other one, is get uncomfortable to grow. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, you're going to get the same results every time. So if you want to grow and you want to learn and you want to be better and you want to inspire others, it's going to take you getting uncomfortable and dealing with the things you don't want to deal with. It's hard. Like, this is like a lifelong thing. This stuff will never go away. Yeah. You know, it's a constant, but if you can start to embrace it and practice it every day slowly, it gets easier.
If any of you out there take this stuff and you get it figured all out today, go write a book.
I'll buy it.
You will be a billionaire.
It just takes some common sense. There is an oil for that. I think we should apply some.
I think a lot of the stuff is practice.
It's on sale today, you guys. I love you too, Aunt Chris.
Practice.
Yeah.
And when you think you got it, universe has a funny way of saying, not quite yet, let's practice again.
Yeah. So we want to know what you guys have learned in 2018 and maybe what's made the biggest impact on your life, and maybe something you're going to work towards changing or whatever. So comment below and let us know, because we'd love to hear it. But
nothing about 2019 yet.
Nope.
What you've learned in 2018.
Be present. Think about the past to envision the future.
That's right.
And it'll help you reach your goals. Yeah. And that's our message for today.
It's good.
We're grateful to each and every one of you that
thanks for listening.
Pops on, that watches us, that follows along, that supports us, that, you know, just sends us love and gratitude. We just love it all. Everything is, we appreciate it all. We recognize it all. Nothing goes unrecognized. So we just hope you guys know that. So we are sending you lots of love and hugs, and we hope you all had a Merry Christmas. And, you know, we hope that you have a safe and happy New Year. And, you know, don't wait for the New Year to make your resolution. If you do that, we don't really do that every day. We just kind of try to do better. But if you're that person that makes a resolution, start it today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Like, right this minute, start it. If you're going to start telling somebody you love them, start right now. Pick up the phone and call, send them a message, whatever it is. Because you never know how long you have on this earth, or those people have on this earth, right? So, anyways, that's our message to you today.
Later.
Bye.